Most people think all 5.1 Dolby Atmos soundbars sound the same. They don't. In 2026, the gap between true immersive 5.1 performance and marketing-driven virtual surround is wider than ever. Some models create a convincing cinematic bubble. Others just get louder. Today, I'm breaking down the 5.1 Atmos soundbars that actually deliver real-world immersion. Before we start, hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone planning a sound upgrade. And comment your room size below, because that changes everything. Number 5. Sony A5000. Starting at number 5, the Sony A5000 remains one of the most balanced 5.1 Dolby Atmos soundbars entering 2026. What separates it from many competitors is Sony's focus on tonal accuracy and spatial realism rather than exaggerated bass or artificial widening effects. The A5000 uses upward-firing height drivers, side beam tweeters, and Sony's 360 spatial sound mapping processing to create a wider and taller soundstage than traditional front-firing bars. In medium-sized living rooms, this produces a convincing sense of vertical layering, especially during Atmos-encoded movie scenes where ambient sound floats above the screen. Dialogue clarity is one of its strongest advantages. Sony's tuning keeps the center channel clean and anchored, preventing voices from getting buried under heavy effects. That makes it especially strong for mixed-use viewing, movies, streaming series, sports, and gaming. Bass performance from the standalone bar is controlled but not room-shaking. To unlock full cinematic weight, pairing it with Sony's dedicated subwoofer significantly improves low-frequency extension and overall depth. Without the sub, it feels refined. With the sub, it feels cinematic. Where Sony truly adds value is ecosystem integration. If paired with compatible Bravia TVs, features like acoustic center sync elevate dialogue positioning, making it feel like sound is coming directly from the screen. That subtle enhancement adds realism most buyers don't initially expect. However, without dedicated rear speakers included in the base package, surround immersion remains partially dependent on room acoustics. For full 5.1 separation, adding optional wireless rears is recommended. The Sony A5000 earns its spot because it delivers balanced Atmos performance with scalable upgrade flexibility, making it ideal for buyers who want to start clean and build over time. Number 4. Bose Smart Ultra Soundbar, 2026 edition. At number 4, we move into a very different philosophy of 5.1 Dolby Atmos, one built around clarity, balance, and long-term listening comfort. The Bose Smart Ultra Soundbar entering 2026 is not trying to overwhelm you with aggressive tuning. It is engineered to make every scene feel clean, controlled, and emotionally clear. The biggest strength of Bose has always been dialogue intelligibility, and in 2026 that advantage becomes even more important. Modern streaming mixes are dense. Background effects, music scores, and environmental sounds often compete with voices. Bose's advanced AI dialogue mode dynamically isolates vocal frequencies and enhances clarity without artificially boosting volume. The result is dialogue that remains intelligible even during chaotic action scenes. For a 5.1 Atmos configuration, the Smart Ultra uses upward-firing drivers to generate vertical dimension while maintaining a wide frontstage spread. Height performance is not exaggerated, but it is smooth and believable in properly sized rooms with standard flat ceilings. Instead of dramatic overhead bursts, Bose prioritizes natural vertical layering that integrates seamlessly into the overall soundstage. Bass performance out of the box is tight and controlled rather than explosive. Bose does not chase excessive boom. Instead, it delivers refined low-frequency balance that supports dialogue and music without overpowering them. However, pairing the bar with the Bose bass module significantly enhances cinematic weight and depth, especially for larger living spaces. One of the most underrated strengths of the Smart Ultra is ADAPTQ room calibration. Using acoustic measurement techniques tailored to your seating position, the system optimizes tonal balance and timing alignment for your specific environment. In real-world rooms filled with furniture and reflective surfaces, this makes a measurable difference in immersion consistency. Connectivity is streamlined and stable. With HDMI eARC, Wi-Fi streaming, and multi-device compatibility, the Smart Ultra fits naturally into modern smart home ecosystems. While it may not offer multiple HDMI pass-through ports like some competitors, it compensates with reliability and simplicity. Where Bose excels is emotional listening comfort. Extended movie sessions, dialogue-heavy series, and even music playback feel effortless and non-fatiguing. That characteristic matters more than many buyers realize until they experience overly aggressive tuning from competing systems. The Bose Smart Ultra earns the number 4 position because it offers a refined and intelligent approach to 5.1 Dolby Atmos, one that prioritizes clarity and realism over raw spectacle. Number 3. Sonos eARC 5.1 Dolby Atmos configuration. At number 3, we move into one of the most strategically positioned 5.1 Dolby Atmos systems going into 2026, the Sonos eARC configured with sub and rear speakers. On its own, the eARC is a powerful Atmos bar, but when expanded into a full 5.1 configuration with Sonos Aero rears and a sub, it becomes something much more serious. What separates Sonos from many competitors is ecosystem intelligence and modular scalability. You are not locked into a fixed package. You can start with the eARC alone, then add a sub for deeper low-frequency authority, and later integrate rear speakers for true surround separation. That flexibility allows buyers to build toward full immersion at their own pace. The eARC itself uses upward-firing drivers to create vertical dimension, and in rooms with standard ceiling height, it produces convincing height channel dispersion. While it does not rely on exaggerated reflection tricks, it carefully balances timing and directional projection to create a believable overhead layer. With the addition of Aero rear speakers that also support height effects, the spatial bubble becomes far more cohesive. One of Sonos' strongest competitive advantages is true play room calibration. This system analyzes your room's acoustic characteristics and adjusts frequency balance and timing alignment accordingly. In irregular living rooms with uneven walls or open layouts, this precision tuning dramatically improves consistency and clarity. Bass performance with the Sonos sub is controlled, deep, and tightly integrated. Instead of muddy rumble, you get clean impact and sustained sub-bass extension that adds weight without overwhelming dialogue. For many users, this balance between depth and control is more satisfying than systems that prioritize sheer loudness. Design also matters. The eARC maintains a sleek, minimalist profile that blends into modern living rooms without drawing visual attention. For buyers who value both performance and aesthetics, this combination is powerful. However, there are trade-offs. Sonos does not typically offer multiple HDMI pass-through ports, which may limit flexibility for users with multiple wired devices. Additionally, while the modular 5.1 setup is impressive, it requires additional investment compared to bundled all-in-one packages. The Sonos eARC in a full 5.1 configuration earns its place at number 3 because it delivers premium Atmos performance with long-term upgrade potential, making it ideal for buyers who want scalable immersion rather than a fixed system. Number 2. LG S95QR. At number 2, we move to a system built for buyers who want physical surround separation included from the start. The LG S95QR stands out in the 5.1 Dolby Atmos category because it does not rely solely on front bar virtualization. Instead, it combines a main soundbar, dedicated rear speakers, and a powerful subwoofer to create a more convincing multi-directional sound field. One of the most important strengths of the S95QR is its dedicated rear height drivers. Unlike many 5.1 Atmos bars that only fire upward from the front, LG equips its rear modules with their own upward-firing units. This dramatically improves vertical layering consistency, especially during action scenes where overhead objects move across the room. Instead of sound feeling front-heavy, the immersion feels more evenly distributed. Bass performance is another major advantage. The included subwoofer delivers substantial low-frequency displacement, giving explosions, engine roars, and cinematic scores real physical weight. In medium to large living rooms, this added power makes a noticeable difference compared to smaller standalone subsystems. The bass is not just audible, it is felt. LG also focuses heavily on AI room calibration optimization. The system analyzes your room's acoustics and adjusts tonal balance and channel timing automatically. In rooms with uneven wall spacing or partial open layouts, this feature helps maintain stability in the surround field. Dialogue clarity remains strong even during intense scenes. LG has refined center channel tuning to prevent voices from getting buried under heavy bass or layered effects. That balance between power and clarity is essential in a 5.1 Atmos system. Connectivity is modern and flexible, including HDMI eARC and support for high-resolution audio formats. For gamers and streaming users alike, bandwidth handling is stable and responsive. However, the trade-off for this level of immersion is space. The S95QR requires more physical placement planning due to rear speakers and subwoofer size. For minimalistic setups, this may not be ideal. But for users prioritizing true surround presence, the added hardware is an advantage, not a drawback. The LG S95QR earns the number 2 spot because it delivers strong physical immersion, impactful bass, and consistent height realism, making it one of the most complete 5.1 Atmos packages available going into 2026. Number 1. Samsung HW/Q930D Best 5.1 Dolby Atmos Power Balance 2026. At number 1, we're not choosing hype. We're choosing performance consistency, physical channel separation, and real cinematic impact. And in the 5.1 Dolby Atmos category going into 2026, the Samsung HW/Q930D stands above the competition. What makes the Q930D different is not just processing, it is physical speaker placement strategy. Unlike single-bar Atmos systems that rely heavily on reflected sound, the Q930D includes dedicated rear speakers and a powerful wireless subwoofer in the box. That immediately changes the experience. When sound moves from front to back, it actually travels between physical speakers. That creates authentic surround channel separation, not simulated widening. Height performance is where Samsung pulls ahead. The system includes upward-firing drivers in both the main bar and rear modules. This creates a more complete vertical sound dome, especially during Atmos-encoded scenes with overhead effects like rain, aircraft movement, or environmental ambience. The difference is noticeable in real rooms because the rear height reinforcement stabilizes the overhead illusion. Bass authority is another key advantage. The included subwoofer delivers strong low-frequency extension with controlled impact. It moves enough air to give explosions physical weight without overwhelming dialogue clarity. In medium and larger living rooms, this matters. A 5.1 system without sufficient bass depth feels incomplete. The Q930D avoids that weakness. Dialogue clarity remains stable even during intense scenes. Samsung's center channel tuning keeps vocals anchored to the screen, preventing them from getting lost under dynamic effects. That balance between power and clarity is critical in immersive setups. SpaceFit room calibration technology further enhances performance. By analyzing room acoustics automatically, the system adjusts frequency balance and timing alignment. In irregular rooms, this keeps surround positioning consistent and prevents the rear stage from collapsing. Connectivity is strong and future-ready, with HDMI eARC support and broad format compatibility, including Dolby Atmos and DTS-X. For users with gaming consoles or streaming devices, pass-through reliability is stable and responsive. The only trade-off is aesthetic minimalism. This is not the smallest system on the list. It requires rear speaker placement and subwoofer positioning, but that is also why it wins. Physical separation outperforms virtual simulation every time when properly placed. The Samsung HW/Q930D earns the number 1 position because it delivers the best overall balance of real surround separation, convincing height realism, strong bass authority, practical room adaptation, immediate out-of-box immersion. It does not rely on marketing language. It relies on physics. Final verdict: 5.1 Dolby Atmos in 2026. In 2026, not all 5.1 Dolby Atmos soundbars are equal. Some prioritize elegance. Some focus on dialogue clarity. Some chase aggressive bass. But only a few combine channel separation, vertical realism, and low-frequency depth in a way that feels truly cinematic. If you want modular ecosystem flexibility, Sonos remains powerful. If you want refined clarity, Bose delivers comfort. If you want balanced integration with gaming and TVs, Sony competes well. If you want physical immersion from day one, LG is strong. But if you want the most complete 5.1 Atmos experience without stepping into full AV receiver territory, Samsung currently leads. Because immersion is not about numbers printed on the box. It is about how your room feels when the lights go down. If this breakdown helped you decide smarter, hit like right now. Subscribe for deep, no-hype audio analysis. Share this with someone planning a 2026 upgrade. And check the description below for direct links to all the products mentioned. Your next movie night should feel different.